Hello YouTube, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about my number one all-time favorite, the Jordan 6 1991 black and red infrareds. We're going to kind of go through some of the original releases, we're going to go through some retros, and first of all we're going to go through this pair here. Size 7.5. Used, worn with love, my very first pair that I had. Got Christmas of '91. Around this time, my parents took us to the mall, and I saw these in JCPenney, among other times, of course. Seeing Jordans on the shelves, wishing, hoping, praying that one day they would buy me a pair. And we left the mall again, and it's just a few weeks before Christmas, like this time of year. And they told me, no, you're not getting them. They're too much money. So I literally was just so upset. I started crying and broke down. We went in the car, South Lake Mall, Maryville, Indiana. And I remember my mom running back into the store. And she came back out with her big leather jacket. And I saw something stuffed underneath her jacket and sat in the front seat. And these were definitely what she went to grab. So this is my original pair. Beloved Jordan 1, or Jordan 6, my first pair, the number 1, crumbling as we speak. So very special pair, beautiful, worn. We got black Sharpie on here. The infrared basically here, it had, lots of Crayola marker on it. On this one, I think even, I'm gonna lay this one down. On this one, you can see on the heel, our dachshund chewed on it lightly one day, and I was like, what are you doing? Lots of great memories playing in these. Flip over to see the soles. As you see, they're still holding up, but they are definitely worn with love. So I had the Jordan Ace after this, and I just didn't want to beat them up as much. But these are very special. My favorite shoe. Lace locks are still pretty nicely intact. But yeah, lots of, you might be able to see in the light some brush marks of Sharpie always touching up the toe around here. They're oxidized. I've done a couple treatments on it, but it just keeps coming back with the antifungal liquid. But just gonna leave them alone. I don't want them cracking more, so it's best just to let them sit as they are. But yeah, I wish I had maybe tried earlier in my childhood, and I would have gotten my black cement 4s among others. But yeah, this one pair, and it was the first. See, Jordan's legs are kind of worn out there. Even here, all the way to the translucent. So the pair that kind of started it all for me. We're going to look at something a little different. This is actually the grade school size. Picked these up from Tony at Boneyard, Chicago. Great guy. Become friends over the years. And awesome pair. He showed me these actually at his original location on Ashland, and I went back to get them not too long after. So these are very cool. It's dead stock, size 4. See the 3M. And the difference is leather. You don't have Durabuck, it's actually leather. Very nice leather too. Got some cracking. This pair is actually worse condition than the other. So we'll pull the other one out. It's a little easier to handle. It's really cool finish. It would be nice to see a retro in leather one day. I wouldn't be opposed to it because we had gotten the black infrared so many times that getting it in a leather version I think would be kind of cool, because obviously this looks really good. The infrared's nice and vibrant. You can tell compared to, well, it's kind of ashed out, but my original pair was kind of a deeper orangish from Crayola marker touch-ups over the years. But this is the true state of dead stock. See the Nike on the inside. Nike here on the heel. Shape on the grade school is a little different. Obviously, you got this is a little flatter. The paneling is a little different, but really nice quality. Really happy to add these to the collection. And the flight card was a little different on the kids pair. It's a little more stripped down. I can open it. So you just have one slip, the adult sizes. It's got the flip booklet. We're going to look at the versions that most matter to me. The Nike branded Air Jordan 6 Black Infrared, the 1991 release here. So I was speaking earlier, this is the actually Flight Club here. The adult version is a little more detailed. Get the white infrareds, get the layers of the shoe, and the beautiful black infrared, shiny icy white, and the pair itself, nicely oxidizing, cracking, pretty pristine, just gorgeous. The original is just remember opening that box first day of Christmas morning, and these right here to our left, but that infrared just popping in the black and the white edges, the cuts on the Durabook you can see here. See the paneling here is a little shinier. It's like the heated process when they molded the back heel. It's very nice. And then we move down here and onto, we're going to kind of hop into a little comparison of these three Nike branded versions. I do have the 2014, I wear them, but they won't be in today because just doing the Nike branded. This is 2000, dead stock. Found these at South Lake Mall actually with my buddy. That's where I bought them at. Again, you can see the paneling a little bit. Get some of the white edge. It's not as prominent as the OG, but you can definitely see the edge cut material there. The bubbles on the ankles are a little more built up than the OG, but they're very, very nice retro. This is my favorite retro, slightly over the 2019 version, which we're going to look at right down here. So we got the 2019, and it didn't come with the white edges. I actually took coloring pencil and did the edges on it. This glue comes in the box a little bit too. You see the infrared's a little brighter, a little more vibrant. If you pan back this way, you can see the original. Just kind of get an overhead shot of all three. You can see the original and the 2000, the 91 and 2000. The infrared, it's a little deeper. It actually says deep infrared on the box on the 2000 pair. They're very similar, but this one's a little better. We'll take them out of the box and we'll hop into a little more detail between those three. Take a front end shot here of the 91 black infrared, 2000, and the 2019 version. So as you see, the white edges really pop on the original. They're just really noticeable along the side panels. The 3M is at. I just wish that the 2000 pair had the 3M on the panel, because it just looks that much better. But they still do look great. They do have that edge. Not quite the same shape. It's narrow. As you can see, it gets a little wider here around the toe. But the original, the toe box, you can kind of see it in this angle, but this is much more sleek, even more so than the other two. The tongues on the original are very high. I'm not going to pull them too hard because I don't want to put too much tension on the shoe, but you can tell it's definitely cut higher. And it's got the nylon kind of stitch over the top. Here, it's rubber, about the same height on these two. And it was cool that they brought back Nike on the 2019 pair underneath. Where here it's just blank. Jumpman are very similar here on the 91 and the 2000. This one's a little more vibrant, a little lighter color. It's a little brighter, a little more pale infrared. This is a little deeper, and this about the same. So it's funny, you see the lace locks came dead stock like this. So on my first pair from my childhood, when I wore them first, I had them like this because I didn't really know, oh, they came like that. I'm just gonna leave them down there. But paying attention to Jordan's, characteristics, his way that he would wear his shoes, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna put them up here. So that's how I have them laced on my pair that we saw earlier from my childhood. But I do have a video and a photo I'll drop in where you can see I'm wearing these. So yeah, there's the hat here. My dog, I believe, was chewing on it one day and tore it up. The Jordan 23. Wore this all the time. Has destroyed this hat. It's been washed numerous times. The old Zubaz style, but classic. Very classic. Another hat I got hanging up here. Dead stock. We always got the new hats. My dad kept all his brand new, and my brother mostly would keep them pretty new, and maybe wear one and I'd wear one, and we wouldn't hoop in them or anything. We would try to keep them nice, but this one is perfecto. Love that first championship hat, the shirts. All the characters in the first three are just really cool, especially the first two are definitely my favorite. And if you look to the right here, I got something I recently found, the banner. It's basically a replica of the first banner that hung at Chicago Stadium. And this was a giveaway in the 92 season. We were there in the 92 playoffs, but at the beginning of the season, they actually gave out these banners. So it's a neat little find, and it's pretty identical. I'll post a photo along with that too. So as you can see, back to the 91, 2000, and 2019, you can see the ankle bubbles a little fatter on the 2000 pair. You scan over, you can see this is definitely protruding, but it's not as large. It's about like the OG. It's not quite as thick, but it's a little less than the 2000, I'd say. And if you look on the front panel here, one of the greatest details I think is when they did the molding, and you can see this indentation here. It's like a divot. It really gives the shoe more depth. When you look at the side, that ankle pod really pops. So you see along here, just on the inside, and then on the 2000 pair, they have it again, but it's not quite as pronounced. It's been kind of a lost processing. And then here on the far right, you got the 2019, and it's just kind of stitched around. The molding's not quite the same. There's a little bit of contrast between material, but it's pretty much the same, where you can see the back panel on the 2000 pair, and then the 1991, it's definitely got a smoother, it's almost got a leathery feel here. So three great pair, I love all three of these Nike branding. We can see down in the insole here. It's got the infrared. And then the 2000 pair, they actually switched it up. They did black on infrared. And then the 2019 pair, they went back to the classic. This one's not as fragile, so we can just lift it up. Shake the lace down, and yeah, it's back to the infrared padding. Look at that Nike Air booty next. As you can see, the OG, it's nice, thicker font, very similar to this one. Just a little different on the Air, and I think the lettering's a little longer on the 2000 pair here. On this one, it's a little thinned out. They kind of thinned out the font. It looks good. At least it's centered. It looks good overall. Um, the pull tab here on the OG, it's a little wider cut. I think the back of the shoe is just a little wider. These are all dead stock, so there's no wear to where it's one wider than the other. You can see it kind of faded a little bit over time. There's the 2000s oxidizing a little bit, and your 2019 retro. So yeah, very classic. It's great to have all three pairs of the Nike branding dead stock. Had to hunt these down for sure to just bring back the nostalgia. And if you come over the top of the shoe, you can actually see the white edge here, a little bit here, and then on the 2019 pair, I touched them up just so it kind of has that OG vibe. The more recent, Jordan 6s, the black and gold, they did bring the edges back. Looks great on the 2016 metallics, metallic 5. So I think they are paying attention to that now, to where it's not going to have to be customized per se. And on the insoles, you can see the Nike branding maybe a little better here. You can see it with the registered logo. It's about the same size as here on black. And then right here, it's a little bigger. They've been making the stamps a little larger, and they did not put the register logo. But there's a nice back view of all three models. Take a look at the icy soles, or the oxidized soles. So cool now, everybody wants the yellowed soles, so it's not as frowned upon. So here's the original that has oxidized pretty heavily over time, and here is the 2000. I kind of like the glossy. It's almost got like a shiny, nice sheen finish to it. And these came actually clear, like the OG did. They weren't tinting the soles blue back in the early 2000s. And then you go to your far right, and you got the newest 2019. I don't mind the icy blue because over time it's just going to fade. It keeps it, bright white. I saw a pair of these actually used in round 2 a few days ago, and it was like translucent. There was no blue to it, and it looked really good. And they were probably, exposed to a lot of elements and been out for a while. So it definitely helps with the longevity of the icy sole if that's the goal. But they're all very, very similar. The Jumpman's a little more dull on the OG, kind of a more flat infrared, and then you got more of a vibrant here on the 2000. And then here's your 2019. Very, very close. Maybe just a tad darker than the 2000 pair. All right, let's look at the toe box next. The OG, just every single model is just so sleek, so beautiful. The 6s, the 7s, just get that slope, the aerodynamics of the shoe. Even the 2000, it's not the best. And actually, the molding even looks elevated a little bit. So there's the OG and your 2000 retro. They still look good, but nothing OG or bust to the extent of every day. And here is the 2019. So again, the toe box is a little lifted. Doesn't look bad. Just not as sleek, but it's close. It's probably got a better shape, honestly, than the 2000 by a little bit, but yeah, the original is just really, really good. And next we'll just slide it over. We're going to look at, some midsole or, yeah, a little crumble going on. Let's see, that's the OG. Go heel to heel and get some shots. So height looks close, but the original a little higher. See where it's cut. Kind of slopes down more. I think right here it's about the same peak. But the original compared to 2000, this stays up a little higher, and this kind of cuts down on a sharper angle. But they're close. And then we'll look at the 2019. See how the height looks. This one's definitely a little taller maybe just a little bit. They're about pretty close on the front end. But again, the slope close to the 2000 pair. The retros just are usually shorter, so you see the heel even just a little shorter than that 2019 pair. Great 3M though, nicely done. I actually noticed if you guys looked at the new leaked photos for the 2021 Carmines, I see an inset on the inside of the stitching like this. So maybe they're actually trying to replicate that of the OG. I'll definitely do a comparison on those with the original next year, but it did look like from the early leaked photos that there is an inset just like the OG here. So I'm very excited for those. It'll be great to see them finally come back with the Nike branding. So hopefully they're done well. Before we wrap up today, let's take a look at the boxes too a little bit more in detail. The adult size. So you got Athletic Express size 10.5 on the OG. So there's your Jordan box. And the 2000, 10.5 also. And the classic Jordan face. Really cool box. Love that early 2000 box. It's really cool. Came with the card inside too, I believe. The old retro cards. Here's Jordan 6. And the 2019. So I did 10.5 also because I had dead stock the OG pair 10.5. So make good for comparison. Close to my size 11, but I figured why not. 2014 pair I got, they are size 11 that I wear, but they got plenty of miles left before they're trash, so these will stay dead stock, whether you like it or not. I like that Nike's bringing back the Nike Air branding. Just gives it the nostalgia. So this one has a jump, man. Even on the Fire Red 4s, it's a little lighter red like the original box. So again, that's really cool. They're doing a good job on some of the stuff. Hopefully they get consistent with, quality across the board. I had a lot of people complain, and that's another whole story about the leather and all that stuff with the 4s. But luckily, my 2 pairs came out great. I'm very happy with them. I wish everybody's pairs would look as good. But hopefully moving forward, the quality and the specs are there. But yes, let's not get off track. And this is it for today's 1991 and moving on through 2019 Black Infrared video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at OG or Bust. And have a great one.